All right.
Formally informal.
Formally informal. I'm sitting here with my boy, my very good friend, Tomás Tomás, Tom Fats. You're a singer, you're a songwriter, music producer, potential director for certain things?
No, I wouldn't. I laugh just because, I mean, I wouldn't like consider myself a director, but I'm interested in that stuff for sure. But yeah, I'm a musician, I guess is the base word.
Yeah, it's like the umbrella term.
Yeah.
So what I basically wanted to talk about today mainly is, of course, the EP coming out. You don't want to disclose the date, but you do have a single releasing August 14th, Elizabeth. It's accompanied by a very cool music video. We'll get into that in a little bit. First, I want to talk to you about sort of the decisions you have to make as a musician, some of the responsibilities that come along with being a musician, trying to make a career out of becoming a musician. There's a lot of hardships that people go through. I have other friends who are also trying to, make a career out of becoming a musician in certain senses. So I want to get into a little bit of that. Like, how do you make business decisions? I know that you have a manager, Toby, who's a friend of mine as well, that I met through you, of course. But kind of break that down to me, break it down for me. When you guys get some record label or an artist or someone who's interested in working with you in any sense, how do you guys go about kind of breaking that down and saying, all right, this is a good decision, this is a bad decision? Are you looking at the person themselves? Are you looking at the business that they work for? What is that?
We kind of have fun with it sometimes, I think. Like, we, like, almost in a joking way, like, get very into it. And
what do you mean by getting very into it?
Like, we just think about, like, every little detail of everything.
Okay.
Mostly for humor, but then, of course, like, when you do that, you actually do get some nice insight from each other.
Of course.
So we go pretty hard with, like, every decision. Like, we sit down and talk about it. Usually nothing's like we're doing this, yes, amazing, perfect. There's been very few decisions where it's been like, no brainer, let's do it.
Yeah. Have you guys ever came to a point where you disagreed on something, like,
oh, all the time.
Very important?
Yeah.
How do you
I mean, very important. We're usually on the same page because neither of us really have the most solid opinion. Like, when we first start, talking about, something that's come to us or something that's come our way.
Yeah.
And, if we don't know, we have a lot of friends who are in the industry and they're always willing to give advice, which is awesome.
Okay.
I feel very grateful for that.
Yeah, and you are well connected. Like, I know you're around a lot of people who are either in the industry, are associated with the industry, are associated with people within the industry. So that's always good because even from my perspective, I help out a friend who's trying to become a DJ. And we, the same way that you have friends that are already doing it, we have friends that are doing it as well.
Yeah. I don't even think it's as romantic as that. I think, like, this is going to sound dumb, but it's the same way that, if you were, a plumber, you might ask another plumber about how I would fix this pipe.
Of course. The thing is, I've noticed something with music industry. It's people get, because from my perspective, I was almost at first afraid to ask people questions because I felt like there's some sort of ego that everybody has within the music industry.
Sometimes people have an ego, yeah. But I think mostly, if we're, getting advice from friends who happen to be in the industry and very successful, then, it's, people don't really have a problem giving out advice to their friends. That would be really weird if they did.
Yeah.
But there's definitely, if you just go up to, some record, executive in the grocery store, he's not going to be so keen on giving you advice.
Of course.
But
yeah. I want to talk a little bit about record labels. I wanted to see, like, do you think they are absolutely necessary? I know that I've talked to you in the past that you want to get signed, obviously, because it kind of brings some formality to your life in terms of a career and a job. But do you think it's absolutely necessary?
No, not at all. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think everyone's, like, path is different to, like, how, you get there.
Yeah.
Some people never have a label. Some people do.
Yeah.
Some people start their own labels. There's so many different ways you go about it. And I think that's what, like, freaks the music industry out now is that, oh, wait, like, we don't have to, like, we're not so much needed anymore, even though, they still run the show, the major labels. But overall, I think it's a lot more open than it used to be.
Yeah, it definitely is a lot more open now Because there's
there's kids making a song and putting it on SoundCloud, and it goes crazy.
Like Russ. Russ created his career on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So you want to be signed by a record label, or
No, not necessarily.
not necessarily.
No, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not for it. Whatever the right opportunity is, will be the right opportunity.
Yeah. What would you look for in a record label? Like, are you looking for freedom? Are you looking for like micromanaging? Do you want to be involved in everything? Do you want to not be involved and just create?
I think I definitely am the type that needs to be involved. I mean, just now, like for this EP, we're putting it out with 2 different labels, as well as distribution and a PR firm, and I find myself like worrying about them doing their jobs, which I shouldn't at all, because it's their jobs, they're professionals, this is what they do for a living.
But they're representing what you are.
Yeah, but that's like a problem with me, is that I have always just done everything like myself. I've always.
You have to.
I mean, it's I produce my own stuff. I mix my own stuff until recently. Like I'm trying a lot of new things where I'm taking a bit more of a backseat.
Yeah,
and
you don't
sometimes
have
it's hard.
Control.
Yeah, and that's tough. And I'm a person. Me. I love control. Like that's why I like to drive everywhere.
Yeah.
I like to be in that.
In the driver's seat. No pun intended. Elizabeth is the single coming out August 14th. Very anticipated single. Now this is one of 5 songs, correct, for an entire, not an album, right? An EP.
Yeah, it's officially it's an EP.
Okay, and so why did you choose this song specifically, Elizabeth? I know it's coming out with a very cool music video.
Thank you.
So why did you choose this song specifically? Did it represent exactly what the EP is supposed to kind of be as a whole? Was it just like the best work of the project?
There's probably a couple of different reasons. Off top, it wasn't the first song I made for the project, but when I did make it, I was like, I brought it to my manager Toby and just said, "This is like the single, like no doubt about it." And this is when it was like nothing. I had like made a little bit of the beat and had the vocal melody, and I remember playing it for him and my other friend Hank, and just like singing them like the melody and being like, "Yeah, this is gonna be the song," and I think that this is the single with the video.
Wait, so you showed them just the beat and then you sang on top of it?
The beat wasn't even like fully finished. It was literally just like probably what you would hear on the chorus. And we were hanging out, and I was like, "Yeah, guys, this is song I'm working on," and I sang it for them, and I was like, Toby, I think that this would be the single with the video.
Yeah, so you were just confident about that song specifically.
Yeah, and I think even building off of that, I think I recorded it like the next day, and I put like a rough mix on it. Then I came back to Toby's, and at the time he was living with Kevin Lombardo, who ended up directing the video.
Okay.
And I said, "Toby, here's a song. I think it's awesome. Let's just play it for Kevin and let's just see what he thinks, because I bet you he's gonna say we should do a video for this." So
you set it up.
I was very confident, and I hadn't been that confident in like a song of mine in a while, probably ever. I had never like made a song and been like, "This needs a video," and this, So we played him the song, and he's like listening to it, and he's slowly being like, "Dude, this is sick. This is really sick. Dude, we should do a video for this." And I was like, I looked at Toby and I was like, see, and so it kind of
kept building as you.
I just knew that, and I don't even necessarily know if it's like my favorite song or the best song on the EP, but at the time when I made it, I was just like, yeah, we definitely have to like do, a video for this for sure.
And how long ago did you make that song? Because I think it was like over a year ago at least.
What is it now? It's August. We're in August now.
August 2020. Because I remember
I made it in April of 2019.
So basically
over a year.
Yeah, sure. A little over a year.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I remember me and you having a conversation. This is gonna completely flip what you were just saying, but we had a conversation, and you didn't feel I didn't feel like you were emotionally attached to the song Elizabeth after a year. Because which is understood, you felt like that was last year's you.
Yeah, and and it's funny because it took us basically a year to get around to actually even shooting a video for it.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm glad we did wait that long because, you know, some things came our way, just, you know, opportunity-wise, business-wise. And then when we finally, like, went to shoot it and, you know, I, like, saw, like, you know, the even, like, not even the final edit. When I saw, like, the mock-up edit, like, of the lip-syncing, like, put together, I was just, like, it just, like, kind of, like, breathed new life into the song for me. And it gave it, like, a different... Like, I didn't see it as, like, a banger before, and now I kind of see it as that. And that's not me, like, hyping the song up. You know, there's a difference between, you know, something mellow and something that's, like, a banger.
Yeah.
So, you know, it kind of just breathed, like, new life into it. It gave it, like, a different energy, and it kind of, like, brought back my excitement for it.
Yeah.
Because, I was definitely over it, like, a couple months ago.
Yeah. We'll talk every few months, and then you'll just update me on what's going on. And... when you showed me the song at first, initially, we were both hyped. Like, this is a great song. Then a few months go by. You're like, yeah, I'm trying to release this soon. Then a few more months go by. You were like, yeah, I'm kind of over the song. And it's also
it was never not coming out, by the way. But yeah, it just kept getting pushed back.
Yeah. And then also, like, the song is like a story. Like, I personally know what the song is about.
Yeah.
But like, basically what you did was you were talking about a specific time of your life and you created that into a piece of art, and then for you to watch that same piece of art that reminds you about the same thing over and over again for a year and change, like, that's a project that you put a lot of time into, and then just seeing it, like, grow to what it did, to what it is now. Like, I watched the video, it's crazy.
Thank you.
Like,
thanks.
Seeing you sing that initial line when you're in the car, I'm like, what the fuck, this is absurd. Like, from the time that you were, like, not so hyped about it to now the music video being out and, like, seeing you driving in the car. Sorry, I'm disclosing information.
It's all good.
Seeing you driving in the car like fucking, like the Joker sticking his head out the window. It's just like...
We did not... none of that was based off anything Joker, by the way.
No, but I mean, when you see it, you'll know that it's not... like, that's not what I'm talking about.
No, I get what you're saying. Thank you for saying all that.
Yeah.
I definitely... It was like a fucking blast making that video. It was like the most fun I've ever had, like, doing art before.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like... It was a 3-day shoot.
Was that your first music video where you were the main subject, or no? No, actually, there's one you did.
I have a video for this song called Pennies of Dime.
Right.
But this, I would say that this is like my first, like, official, like, production in terms of a music video, with just, like, you know, a producer, a DP,
like
director,
everything.
Production assistants, you know, stuff like that.
Like your first officially produced music video.
So yeah, I mean, it felt a little bit more. Something was at stake almost, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you're shooting for something much bigger than you were shooting before.
Yeah, and exactly, like we were
More
shooting, we were trying to pull something off that was not gonna just, like, there was never a time where we were like, oh, there's no doubt that we'll be able to do this. Everything was like, I think we could get this shot, like we might be able to get this shot. I don't know if we could shoot it here. All right, fuck it, we'll try it anyway.
Yeah.
And it ended up just working out for, you know, the better, obviously, but it just felt like a lot more was at stake. You know, this was, you know, a part of a rollout rather than, because Pennies of Dime, the song had already been out.
Yeah.
Video came out like months later.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel like there was any sort of pressure.
True.
Now it kind of felt like, you know, I was like nervous, you know, leading up to it for sure.
Yeah.
But because I wanted, you know, it to, you know, turn out well.
You want it to be something that's...
Yeah. And I literally I could not be happier with how it turned out.
That's good.
And everyone who worked on it was just 10 out of 10 A+.
That's the best. Yeah, that's the best feeling, when you're fully confident about what you're about to do, especially being an artist.
And you know what, too, just building off what we were talking about earlier in terms of, you know, just trusting people to do their jobs. I remember calling Kevin and telling him, dude, look, I have to be honest with you. Like, I'm nervous about this. I usually don't come to you and tell you I'm nervous. It's usually the other way around. That's, you know, we have a very close relationship.
Yeah.
And
Kevin, you're talking about Kevin
Lombardo, the director.
Of the video.
So, you know, I just called him and said, like, look, dude, I'm nervous. Like, you know, this is a big deal to me. And, you know, it's really tough for me to say this, but I want so badly to just give you full control and just do whatever you want.
I love that.
And I just think that that'll be the best way for it to turn out. And I'm so happy I did that.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's something I've noticed with artists, which is extremely, like, understandable. they're very romantic about their art. Like they
Oh, for sure, yeah.
they want, like you said, full control over what they're doing. They want it to be a representation of exactly what they are.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's better to allow someone else to have
Yeah.
their perspective.
And
through your
I
lens.
just thought that, and I do think this, you know, Kevin's one of my close friends, and you know, I show him mostly, you know, everything that I make anyway.
Yeah.
So I think he has a good handle on what I'm going for.
Yeah.
And I think just to give him the keys and just say, dude, go do what you do.
Listen, the car drives itself. Take the keys any way you need them to turn the car on.
Yeah, exactly. So I literally just called him that one day and just said, you know, dude, do your thing. I'm going to choose to trust you. And it turned out really good. And I mean, there was no reason to ever doubt him and the team that made the video. I mean, they're all incredible.
Yeah, Kevin's awesome. Packy's awesome. I've watched them all.
Packy, the cinematographer,
I've watched them in action. Very cool.
He's impressive to watch for sure. He really, I mean, he's a true professional, and brother who edited it is, you know,
Brother's absurd.
Yeah, he's a wizard. So I mean, just everyone who I was telling, you know, Toby, you know, this is like the dream team for me. Like, this is who I would want to like make a video with. Like, you know, this is exactly where and I thought it was like a cool mixture of styles between everyone.
Absolutely. I think it came out very, very dope, and I think it's gonna do.
We're
we're
hyping it up a lot right now. So if people fucking hate it, it's gonna be embarrassing.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, everything is subjective. All art is subjective. So if you put it out and if one person fucking likes it, you won. You know, at the end of the day, because you're gonna put out another.
I mean,
project.
I mean, all joking aside, like I am like confident about it. I think people are really gonna like it. So I'm very excited for everyone to see it. Very excited.
So August 14th, right?
August
Just
14th.
the single, Elizabeth.
Single with the video.
Along with the music
Elizabeth.
video.
Yep.
And people can get that on all platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud.
Yeah, the song will be everywhere.
Okay.
Video, YouTube, you know, the normal deal.
Elizabeth is a single. The entire EP releases sometime in September. The car drives.
Yeah, it's called The Car Drives Itself.
The car drives itself. It's a little inside joke that I know, and now it's going to be an outside joke for everybody else. Everybody tune into Elizabeth, watch the music video, download the song, stream that shit. When the fucking EP comes out, stream that, download it, get it everywhere you can get it. And yeah, let's give Tom some love on that. Thank you, Tom, for doing the show with me.
Of course, it was a pleasure.
Life's good.
You know?
Life's good. You wore blue, so that helps.
I wore blue, you know? I don't know, if that counts for anything, but, you know, it goes nice with the brown table.
My show is blue themed. Half Full is blue themed.
Is it really?
It is.
This was, then I'm gonna...
That means you're not paying attention, bro.
No. I was joking the whole time. I'm fully taking credit for me purposely wearing blue to match the theme of your show.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
See that, man? See that, man?
Perseverance.
Adversity. What are you going to do when it strikes?